Matt Ryan, 21 of 24, 286 yards, 3 touchdowns. Still a
It's
dude.
better than this. Guys being dudes.
Matt Ryan,
That's a dude.
Heisman Trophy, Bronco Nagurski Award,
Ultimate dudes.
Raji on my left,
Herzlich on my right. 2 dudes. O-line you. Bunch of dudes. Dudes to the right. Dudes to the left. Stuck in the middle with you.
WZBC, the Boston College Radio Network, the voice of the Eagles.
What's going on, guys, and welcome to the first broadcast of Two Dudes Sports Show. I'm TJ Hardnett, alongside Quinn Kelly. Quinn, how you doing today? A monumental day in this show's history.
Dawn of a new era of talk radio. As you said, I'm Quinn Kelly here. Just a couple of freshmen here at BC, and hopefully we'll be around for 4 more years of this.
Oh, cannot wait. Get ready for a full year of fantastic banter, wonderful sports tips, tricks, and everything you can imagine under the sun. You will not be disappointed listening here. We are the two of the funniest guys that I think we know, if we're going to be honest here.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you're tuning in, thank you for tuning in. Obviously, we started at 7.
Yep.
We run a full hour till 8, and hopefully you love the show.
Absolutely.
So a little bit of background on us. So my name's TJ. I'm from New Jersey. As you said, I'm a freshman here. I know my family's listening, so shout out to them back home. This is my first radio show for Two Dudes, and really hoping to build it into something special. If you live on Newton campus, look out. We got a lot of flyers around there, so if you know about us, definitely... hopefully you're tuning in right now. Very excited about that. Yeah. I have 3 other siblings, an older brother, a younger brother, and a younger sister. And hopefully they're all tuned in too. So shout out to them. Also, we have a Facebook page. It's called Two Dudes Sports Show. Definitely find us and like that. We have a YouTube page that's up. We're filming right now. So we'll wave to the camera. It's not live, but it will be up later tonight.
Absolutely.
So if you missed this live show, you can always catch us later on replay. And that's at YouTube, Two Dudes Sports Show. We put a promo up. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Not just because I made it. It's just pretty good. So, Quinn, you want to talk a little bit?
Yeah, all right. So I'm Quinn Kelly. I'm born and raised right here outside of Boston, about a half hour away in Walpole, Mass. Shout out to anybody listening from there. I know my family's on too. I'm a freshman as well. Also, I grace the Newton campus with my presence every day.
That's an understatement, by the way, for everybody listening.
Absolutely. I got 2 siblings of my own, younger brother and sister. And growing up in this area, always been a BC fan. Been to games since I was a little kid, going and seeing everybody under the sun who came through here. Just here with Matt Ryan, here for everybody, and I'm glad to, finally be here and enjoy it as a student.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
Now, we're going to talk a little bit about, you heard that intro, and you're probably a little bit, would you be confused? I don't really know how to put it, but I'm very excited about the intro and the name of the show. If you don't know, the name of the show, we base it off of Mr., I'm going to call him Sir, maybe Dr., Steve Addazio, the coach of the Boston College football team. Now, Steve Addazio, very famous. We're going to get him on the show, by the way. One day, we will get him on the show.
He'll be here.
Not sure the date, but if you guys tune in,
It's forthcoming.
I think you'll know. Yeah. He has a very famous Vine antic game. He's a savage on the Vine game. If you haven't seen his Vines, definitely check him out.
It's worth a check.
Yeah. I put all of his Vines into a little music video right there, and that's our intro, and that's our name. Two Dudes. He's all about the mentality, guys being dudes. Guys being dudes.
That's all it's about. That is all
exactly.
It's about.
So that's what we're about here. We're just 2 guys being dudes.
Yep.
That's exactly what we are. Very excited to start off. We're going to talk some great sports. We're going to have a couple laps. We're going to not laps. And we're going to have a lot of athletes and famous people around BC definitely on the show at one point. So if you're tuning in, thanks for tuning in. We're here, Two Dudes Sports Show, and we're going to get started off with a little BC football.
Absolutely. So the season has been up and down for the Eagles so far this year, obviously with a high point with their win against the 9th-ranked USC Trojans. It was a huge win for the program. A lot of people around here have said it's up there with the best they've seen, but haven't followed up too strong coming off there, and BC's sitting at 3-2 right now. So go through.
Yeah, if you don't know the BC football team, so far we have the first win was at Gillette Stadium versus UMass. That was 30-7, convincing win. Didn't look so good in the first half, but we came out strong in the second. It's an exciting opening day victory. Then a tough loss against Pitt for our first home game as freshmen. Under the lights, Friday night game, ESPN, and we did not come through. Shame, but anybody who was there know. We came back the next week. USC, probably one of the best games I've ever witnessed as a sports fan, beyond being a BC football fan. Then we had a win against Maine, 40-10, convincing win. And then a tough, heart-wrenching loss against Colorado State, to say the least, 24-21. I was there. I'm sure you were.
Yeah.
I know you were. And just wasn't pretty. Last-second TD by the Colorado State quarterback, and it really killed all of our hearts going towards a new future. Yeah,
BC had a lot of momentum going into that game. Going into the game, we were sitting at 29th. We were just a week away, it looked like, from hitting the national rankings for the first time in a few years. And to have it ripped away by a team that was really, the whole week was kind of we were in the mentality that they were a lesser opponent. And you gotta always turn out for those games. Never know what you're gonna get. And obviously, Colorado State gave us a game that we weren't able to handle.
Exactly. It was kind of one of those trap games. That's what I'm going to call it, a trap game. We went in there and we said to ourselves, we got this. We beat USC, rolled over Maine. We got this. Colorado State, you can't even name someone who went to Colorado State. No offense. But they got us. They got us bad.
They did get us.
And we're sitting at 3-2 now, and we're looking at a game. We had a bye week last week where hopefully Adagio got everyone's head on straight, and looking forward to something good coming forward. We're playing NC State, who, if you don't know anything about NC State, North Carolina State, the Wolf Pack, NC State had a just terrible outing against Clemson, where I don't even think they showed up. If you watch that game, you would think Clemson was the only one on the field. They lost, I think, was it 41-0 or 41-10? Just a terrible game for NC State. They're 0-2 in ACC, but then the next week they come out and give Florida State one of the best games that I've ever seen, other than the Clemson game against Florida State. They come out there, and Jameis Winston wasn't even playing that game against Clemson. So they come out there against a Florida State team that obviously Florida State thinks they're going to roll over. Not roll over. They're just absolutely going to steamroll NC State. And NC State and their quarterback, his name is Jacoby Brissett, absolutely gave them the fight of their lives. They were up at halftime. They were up in the third quarter, and they ended up losing, I think, by 10. But the loss, the score does not do it justice for how good of a game NC State played. And that scares me a little bit. I won't lie to you.
Yeah, absolutely. They came in before these last 2 weeks. They were 4-0. They were looking good. They weren't supposed to be one of the better teams in the ACC, but obviously they turned out. But you get to conference play, and it's a different story. Like you said, tough. Ugly loss against Clemson, but then Florida State. If you're going to play a Florida State team, that's tough. What it's reminiscent of, though, is us giving Florida State a good game last year. We weren't, a great team last year, but the Florida State game, we gave Jameis one of the best runs in his season. So you never know. So it looks like we could stack up. Either way, you can look at it either way. We could be a little bit favorable.
We can come in
State,
what we have to look for is, I was at the NC State game. My first Boston College game last year as a prospective student was against NC State, and Andre Williams ran for, don't quote me on it, but I think 351 yards.
Yep.
351 yards, and that was the start of his Heisman campaign, and I was just absolutely just falling in love right there, just watching him just run over this team. And I think about it this year, and I'm thinking, we can go in there and beat these guys. We crushed them last year, and that made us bowl eligible, and big moment in Adagio's career. Hopefully he can do the same going forward. But, this is a different NC State team, and I'm a little nervous.
Definitely.
Are we going to see the Colorado State Boston College Eagles, or are we going to see the USC Trojans Boston College Eagles? And that's really going to determine if we get that win Columbus Day weekend.
Absolutely. You've got a lot to be passionate about every time you play NC State. If I'm quoting this correctly, Tom O'Brien is still over there at NC State.
Yes.
Obviously, the former Eagles coach. He was here for a long time. He was here with Matt Ryan when they climbed all the way up to number 2 in the country that season. Always nice to go back and play him. Always a little bit of rivalry there. We're 2 coaches removed, so you wonder if Coach Adagio's got the same sentiment, but I'm sure he's going to be using it to motivate those players.
And we're going to look at a stat here. And for the viewers, you're probably going to be a little shocked. Not surprised, but a little shocked. Obviously, I can't trivia you on it. Actually, I can trivia you on it. I'm going to do that. All right. Jacoby Brissett has thrown for 1,400 yards so far. 1,400 yards.
For 6 games.
That's a lot of yards compared to our quarterback. Does anybody, looks like it's only you, do you want to take a guess on how many yards Tyler Murphy is thrown for?
Well, if I had to guess, I mean, it's definitely under 1,000. Definitely under 1,000. Tyler Murphy,
you could probably put a quote on that.
Yeah. Is a near strictly running quarterback. I'd say it's probably, I'll give him over 500. I'll say right about 600.
All right. Now, even better, how many rushing yards do you think Tyler Murphy has had? And it's actually astonishing. I read this fact, and you're going to be surprised by it. So,
well, I last I had heard, he was ranked in the country amongst rushers. I'd say, I don't know. I'll give him 900. I'll go on the higher side.
So for throwing yards, it's 660.
All right.
So
Pretty
less than
there.
half of Jacoby Brissett's. That's a little scary. But rushing, he is leading not only our team, but the league for quarterbacks. So he's leading our team, beating all the running backs. I mean, John Hillman's having a fantastic year. I love that guy. Freshman running back, St. Peter's Prep, #New Jersey. But he has run for 579 yards. He's almost run more than he has thrown. His name is a quarterback, which is just astonishing. But he's actually leading the entire NCAA in rushing yards as a quarterback. That's what I read. That's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
That's unbelievable. And he's getting the job done. We do have 3 wins. Only one of them has really been actual opponents.
Significant, yeah.
Not knocking Maine. I mean, my grandma went to Maine. Shout out. But you have to look at this and just be, it's just crazy to think about that he's running all over these teams. And hopefully he can do that against NC State. Hopefully. If he does that and still manages to surprise a few people and throw the ball well, we're going to be sitting pretty for that game. And hopefully 4-2, coming back, homecoming, Clemson, big game, ESPNU. That one's next week, the 18th, I believe, is the date on that one. So looking forward to that. And hopefully Tyler Murphy shows up and gets a lot of runs. So predictions. What do you want to give me?
Predictions. All right. Well, big ACC game right now. We've got 1 loss in the ACC against Pitt. You got to turn it around. Coach Adazio's had a week to kind of to think over that loss to Colorado State. And I don't see him letting the guys forget about it. I think they're going to come out here. I think they're going to give NC State a good game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. You saw them NC State had a real high-scoring affair with Florida State. They're a defense that can give up a lot of points. Mm-hmm. They've gave up 97 points in the last 2 weeks. I don't think that they turn that around, and I'm going to say give it a 40-30 score.
I love it.
In favor of BC, of course.
Of course. Now, just as a reminder, NC State 0-2 in the ACC. BC's only 0-1 in the ACC, which is huge. Mm-hmm. We've only played one ACC team. It's been Pitt, who's had an up-and-down season themselves. They came out really hot. I think they beat Delaware 1,000,000-0. And then I think they lost to Akron last week, the Zips. I don't even know what the Zip is. But this week, NC State, 0-1 in the ACC. I think we get back on the winning trail. I think we go 1-1, which is huge. Mm-hmm. If we see the BC defense that came and played against USC, we gave up a lot of points in USC. True. We also held them for under 30 rushing yards, maybe under 20. Yeah. Gotta check that stat. But if we see that and Jacoby Brissett can't run, but if he throws like he has been with those short dump-off passes like Colorado State did last week, we could be in for a little trouble. Hopefully Adazio's adjusted a lot on that. He knows. I mean, if he doesn't know how Brissett plays, then I don't think anyone's going to know how Brissett plays. But I'm looking forward to that. I do think it's going to be high-scoring also. I think it's going to be back and forth. I don't think really any defense is going to step up. I think we have a fantastic defense. I just don't think if he does like the short dump-off game that we're going to be able to stop him that much. But NC State's defense hasn't shown a thing.
No, not at all.
Not much to Jameis last week. They still gave up a lot of points. They were just scoring on on Florida State's defense. Yeah. So I'm going to go with 30-24. That's my prediction. Mark it. It's recorded. You know. Hopefully we're right. Maybe one day we'll be right. That'd be cool. Maybe
nice.
hockey. Hockey would probably be a better
better
And
percentage.
if you ever predict basketball, then, that'd be impressive.
That would be impressive.
So, there's our prediction for Boston College, NC State this week. You're listening to Two Dudes Sports Show. We're going to hit you with the intro again. Hopefully you enjoy it. It's coming out right now.
Matt Ryan, 21-24, 286 yards, 3 touchdowns. Still a
It's better
Deuce.
than this. Guys being dudes.
Matt Ryan, that's a dude.
Heisman Trophy. Bronco Nagurski Award.
Ultimate
Raji
dudes.
on my left.
Herzlich on my right. Two dudes. O-line you. Bunch of dudes. Dudes to the right. Dudes to the left. Stuck in the middle with you.
WZBC, the Boston College Radio Network, the voice of the Eagles.
All right. Hope you enjoyed that for a second time. It is 7:16, so about 1/4 of the way through our show. Columbus Day weekend coming up. Very excited about the little long weekend. Are you going home for Columbus Day?
I will make a trip home for one of the days.
Nice.
Really not hard to get home. Hop, skip, and a jump over back to
Beautiful.
my house. So
That's all you need. I'm
Yeah.
flying out to Notre Dame to see my brother and my entire family who's
Very
driving
nice.
out today, so safe travels to them. They should be almost there. It's an 11-hour drive from Jersey, so yeah, that's an interesting one.
yeah.
All right, so we're going to jump right into postseason baseball. Obviously, baseball, huge deal. It's October. It's time for the gritty baseball season now. We have our 4 teams. We have the ALCS and we have the NLCS
Yeah, we
coming
do.
at you.
Yep.
An unconventional ALCS. We've seen this
Absolutely.
NLCS before.
Yep.
Not too exciting because I'm a Yankee fan. You can say what you are.
I am a Red Sox fan through and through.
So there you go. We're looking at the ALCS between they're playing tomorrow night the Royals and the Orioles. I don't think we've ever seen this before. Have you ever seen this before?
No, I can't imagine that it was any time other than maybe back in the 70s.
Yeah, maybe when Cal Ripken and George Brett were around, this could have happened. I don't really remember, but I, for one, am thrilled to see this. I am so excited.
It's a nice turnover. It's nice to see,
Mm-hmm.
a new age of baseball coming through. I mean, obviously stings a little bit, both of us, being knocked out.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see somebody from the AL East representing, getting up there. And even if you're not from the AL East area, just a different brand of baseball coming through with these two teams.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to, because I've never seen, these are two of the most electric teams in baseball right
Absolutely,
now.
yeah.
If you're looking at the Orioles all this entire year, ever since they got Nelson Cruz, and Adam Jones has always been a spark plug. J.J. Hardy's heated up, and that entire team is just thrilling to watch. And the Royals, which is even more surprising. I'm not going to say it's a bunch of no names, but there's not a big name guy
No, there
that
really
you
isn't.
can really focus. You don't have your Jeter, you
No.
don't have your Big Papi. Even the Orioles, your biggest player is Adam Jones.
Yeah.
If you're going to look at an all-star and stuff like that, you don't have that on the Royals.
No, you really don't. You see a lot of young guys, especially. So clearly, they've been stocking up the picks from years of just being in the basement of the AL.
Yeah, same thing that the Nationals have done. By the way, they didn't make it.
No.
They got beat
Yeah.
by San Francisco last night. But looking forward, they have a fantastic future too. So
Absolutely.
Royals and Nationals doing that too. It's same thing with the Orioles too. Orioles have stacked that up and built through their system. So yeah, you can carry on about the Royals if
Yeah,
you
I
want
mean,
to.
They like we said, just a bunch of young guys. You look at Eric Hosmer, he's a product of the Kansas City system. Same with Lorenzo Cain. Lorenzo Cain had a huge game to get them here, and it's refreshing to see. We saw Yasiel Puig come in last year, and he was just an absolute fireball out there.
Yeah.
And we saw, looking at the highlights from Lorenzo Cain, making 3 separate diving or over the wall catches, and then coming up from the third one and just jumping up and down, shaking his fist.
It's insane.
It's great to see that kind of fire in baseball. It's something, baseball is obviously a long game. It's a lot of people don't enjoy sitting through the whole thing, but it's nice to see somebody that's really gonna keep it interesting, keep
Yeah,
it exciting.
definitely.
There's really nothing like playoff
And
baseball.
baseball is probably, if we're going to talk about any of the sports, baseball is probably the hardest to keep up to date, going around, focusing on just pure mentality of keeping the viewers watching. That's the main thing that baseball provides. And they're having trouble with that recently.
It's just because we're coming to a different age in sports viewing history where everything you want everything to be fast paced. You want that big play kind of mentality with everything. That's why you see football obviously most popular in the States right now.
And they play once a week.
Right, and they play once a week. Yeah, a lot of people just don't find time in their daily lives now to be following a 162 game season and fall into the trap of saying, well, if I can't follow all 162, then I can't really be invested.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of bandwagon fans with
exactly.
baseball. So.
And then they come around this time. But
right.
for baseball to keep it, they're the only sport that's actually alive in the summer. They're the boys of the summer, which is huge for them. But still, ratings have been down recently. It's tough for them to keep it up because you miss a game, I'll get them tomorrow. That's really what you say. So I've loved baseball my entire life. Played all throughout high school. Played as a kid. Wish I could play in college. Not good enough, but it's one of those mentalities where if you miss one, I'll get them next time. You don't really care. Football, you block your entire day. You're ready. You're excited. There's nothing like a football Sunday.
Not at all.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. Kansas City or Baltimore? What are you feeling on who's going to the World Series?
That's a tough one. You know what? There's a lot of talent with Kansas City. A lot of young guys. Obviously, we got James Shields, an absolute ace. Mm-hmm. But I think I gotta give it to Baltimore. They've got a little more star power, a little more experience. Obviously, Nelson Cruz coming in is huge. He's been there before. Just a lot of exciting players on that team. And I think I gotta give the edge to Baltimore in the series.
I kind of agree with you. I think the Orioles are the better team coming in. To be honest, like you said. I just think there's something about the Royals. There's something that's going on with them right now. They had 3 walk-off wins, which were unbelievable. Night after night after night. They got in here on a walk-off. They beat Oakland on a walk-off, and that's how they got into this series. And since then, they haven't stopped. They're getting the timely hits. They're kind of like the Cinderella story right now, if you're going to refer to March Madness. And can they be stopped? I think eventually they can. It's just the question of is it going to be in the World Series? Because I think Cardinals and Giants, both 2 teams that just have been here.
Absolutely,
they have aces who have been here. They have players who have been here, and they're going to be tough. It's going to be tough for a Cinderella team. Mm-hmm. But also, both teams, obviously all 4 of these teams have heart. It's just the question of who is going to come through with that timely hit at the end. It's really, really tough to call. If I had to predict, I'd have to say the Orioles. I'd have to say the Orioles just because I think they have more veteran leadership. I love the young guys in the Royals. I think you give them 2-3 years if they stick together. I think they could be a powerhouse to deal with. I just think how the Orioles handled the Detroit series, absolutely demolished all their aces, and how they handled it and how their pitching staff's going. I don't think Baltimore can be stopped.
No.
But I love the Kansas City story. Love it.
Absolutely, yeah. And like you said, big part of them is sticking together over the next couple of years. All the talk is about them losing James Shields in the offseason. Obviously, he's a big free agent. Look to him to move to a big market team. Mm-hmm. And that's one of Kansas City's biggest issues.
That's the one thing.
A small market team have trouble holding on to, contract guys. Yeah. You've got very few guys who have been there their whole career. You look at Billy Butler. Yeah. I think he's got to be the most veteran Royal on the team.
Actually, that entire team, he's probably the oldest guy, and he's come through the system too. But he's stayed there, and you find people like that, like George Brett, who stayed there in his, basically his entire career. And when they stay in that system, sometimes they fall in love with a city, like a Paul Konerko in Chicago or a Derek Jeter in New York. They're different markets. So you can stay there, be loyal to a team, and still win. Right, Royals haven't seen that. They haven't got to the playoffs since 1985. And, now there's a little, rejuvenation. Suddenly, the Kansas City Chiefs are good. Kansas City Royals are starting to heat up a little bit too. And Kansas City getting a little spark now, and maybe people want to go there, but it's going to be tough to keep their aces. It is going to be tough, which is a little scary for Kansas City. But hopefully they can get it done this year for them. I'm pulling for the best, but I really do think the Orioles are going to come through. Yep. And we're going to move right on to the NLCS. We got 2 powerhouse teams. If you want to talk about people who have been there, people who the veterans are here, and it's not surprising. If the Nationals were here, it'd be a different story. But we've got Cardinals, St. Louis Cardinals, and Giants, San Francisco Giants. They've been here before. They've won it before. Giants are an even-year team. I heard somebody use that expression today. This is our year, they're saying. It's 2010, 2012, 2014. They won it. They won it this year.
They won it bad, absolutely.
But Cardinals have been here all the time. And I'm going to mention something because one kid, he lives in my dorm. His name's Brian. Always pesters me every day. A Wall Street Journal article came out, and this is pretty surprising, that the Cardinals are the most hated team in Major League Baseball.
I just find that hard to believe.
Is that not shocking to you?
It's shocking to me coming from Boston because you're just bred on let's hate the Yankees.
I'm a Yankee fan, and I know we're the most hated, so I don't believe that at all. I'm sure he just texted me right now. Yeah, he did. Of course he did. Brian Powers, right there, Hardy Basement. And he brought this article to me, and he was begging me all week to talk about it on the show. He's like, you gotta talk about it. And it's just shocking to me.
Yeah,
and we see this team. I mean, it could make sense in the respect that Chicago, obviously the Cubbies haven't won since 1908, and their Cardinals get all the glory, and Pujols and McGuire versus Sosa, and they've always had the upper hand. But,
what's
most hated team. Yeah. What's there to hate?
I don't know. They're not like a bad brand of baseball. No. They play it how it's supposed to be played.
Exactly.
They've got a good face up front. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't
have a stat on this, but if you had to guess, what do you think is the most loved team in baseball?
Most loved team in baseball.
Because I have one that I firmly believe in.
Really?
Yeah, you hit me first.
All right. Most loved team in baseball. That's a tough one.
Over recent years, I'm gonna say over the past for the generation growing up, our year, what is the most loved team in baseball? As 18-year-old kids,
I'd probably have to say, judging from the new era caps they sell, I'd have to say Los Angeles. I think it's very popular to be a fan of a Los Angeles team.
I believe that too. Yeah, I didn't even. Yeah, Los Angeles. Are you talking about the Angels or are you talking about the Dodgers?
No, I'm Dodgers.
Good. I would say Dodgers too. Dodgers, big upcoming team. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say the Boston Red Sox.
The most loved team in baseball.
I'm going to say that the Boston Red Sox are the most loved team in baseball. I think they have a fantastic showing. And I'm not counting Yankee fans. You find Yankee fans everywhere. Recently, you will find a Red Sox fan in every city. You will find them. They're all throughout New Jersey. You know who you are. They're all up here. And New England, obviously they dominate. But I think they're not the most loved team. They're at the bottom of my list. I'm going to be completely honest. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they are the most loved team in baseball. It's just something about the Boston mentality that everyone loves. They love the beards. They love the nitty-gritty guys. They don't, they love Big Papi and what they stand for and the crazy fans and the accents and just everything about Boston people fall in love with. And is it true? I don't know. I don't know if it's true. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it. Don't quote me on it. It's my personal opinion. I just think everyone loves the Red Sox because they love to hate the Yankees.
That's interesting. I mean, somewhere up in the heavens, God is marking it down that a Yankees fan has called the Red Sox the most loved team in baseball. I'd have to say,
it doesn't hold against me.
I'd have to say that what really makes them a loved team is they come from being just a heartbreaking story the year before. And they have something to gather around. Obviously, 2004 was Cowboy Up. You had Kevin Millar, just one of the most polarizing figures baseball's seen, at least Boston's ever seen. You saw the dawning of the Big Papi era, and you had Manny being Manny. You had Pedro, Pedro taking down George Zimmerman not George Zimmerman. I said Don Zimmerman,
not George Zimmerman, not George Zimmerman. He was not taken down by Pedro, but Don Zimmer.
Don Zimmer.
Don Zimmer did go down at one point, yeah. R.I.P. But yeah.
And then obviously in 2013 with the whole beard thing, you had Johnny Gomes come in, one of the best winners that baseball has ever seen. He just knows how to win wherever he is. Johnny Gomes, Mike Napoli coming in. It was a fresh start, a lot of new faces, and coming off the dismal year that was. I think
young kids see that and they're just like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's something you
I personally love the clean shaven. the professional mentality.
know.
You see Jeter, you're like, oh, it's Jeter, baby. You love Jeter. Maybe not A-Rod, but he'll be back. But it's just that when I love Johnny Damon, and I'm sure you guys did too. No,
we did. You can't. You can never take away what you did to him. You make a man shave his Jesus beard. You're just ripping a piece of our soul out. You see him on a Puma ad in Times Square looking like David Beckham. I can't. Oh, it's a heart-wrenching day in Boston history.
Yeah, I love Damon. I'm sure. I wouldn't say the same for Jacoby. See, I think you should. I don't think
Jacoby's a Boston kid.
Jacoby did not win you a World Series.
No.
Jacoby did not win you a World Series. Johnny Damon won you a World Series. Without Johnny Damon, I don't think you win that World Series. He hit that grand slam in Game 7.
Yep.
He wasn't integral in every single game, but I'm sure he got hits. Like he didn't win MVP.
He was a good public figure too.
And I don't think. And then Jacoby has a ring. He won it last year.
Right.
Correct. Yeah.
Yep.
But he didn't win you the World Series. You take him out and you put any regular day center fielder. I think we overpaid for him. I don't think we overpaid for Johnny. I loved Johnny Damon with all my heart.
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
Sure.
Jacoby. No, he probably didn't win us. He was a key player in it, but you're right, he didn't win it.
Oh, yeah.
I think the major difference is he'll never be a Yankee. He came up in Boston farm system, whereas Johnny Damon moved around a lot before he came to us and had that little career rebirth. But Jacoby just is a Red Sox through and through. You can't take that away.
Got it. So we're gonna jump right back into Cardinals and San Francisco Giants right after the intro again. You're going to hear it again. You're going to learn to love it. You're listening to Two Dudes Sports Show here on WZBC Newton.
Matt Ryan, 21 of 24, 286 yards, 3 touchdowns. Still a dude.
Better than this. Guys being dudes.
Matt Ryan, that's a dude.
Heisman Trophy. Bronco Nagurski Award.
Ultimate dudes.
Raji on my left.
Herzlich on my right. 2 dudes. O-line you. Bunch of dudes. Dudes to the right. Dudes to the left. Stuck in the middle with you.
WZBC, the Boston College Radio Network, the voice of the Eagles.
All right, and we're back after that promotional gain again. Again, if you haven't followed us on Facebook, do that. If you have a Facebook, Two Dudes Sports Show. We're up there. Adagio is our cover. You can friend me. I don't really care. My name's TJ Hartnett. You can find me. I go to Boston College, as you know. I'm open to new friends. So if you have to find it through that, I'll take the fall.
I'm a little afraid of paparazzi, so I'm not quite as public.
We will not get your name out there. But watch our promo video. It's on Two Dudes Sports Show. It's on our YouTube page. We're gonna have in the field interviews with fantastic athletes. We know many a fantastic athlete throughout here. We'll be having them on the show. Not sure if we'll have them in the studio, but if we do, you'll know about it. It'll be very publicized.
Definitely.
And it's gonna be fantastic going forward. This is our first show. It definitely won't be our last. You'll definitely be hearing a lot from us. And we're gonna jump right into NLCS predictions. Let's talk about Giants, Cardinals, 2 veteran teams. Let's go right to predictions. What are you feeling? Who's going to the World Series?
All right, so Giants, obviously, like you said, they're the even year team. They've been in it, 2 out of the prior 3 years. But I gotta give it to the Cardinals. I think that the Cardinals were there last year.
Sure.
Had a tough loss to the Sox.
Mm-hmm.
To the Sox. And you know what? I think that they come back this year.
Who did they lose to last year?
The Sox.
Oh, okay.
And I think that they're going to come out there and they're going to win it.
Okay.
I'd love to see Lackey, done with his time in Boston. 2 rings, each finger.
Okay.
I love it.
All right. I agreed with you with the Orioles. I am not going to agree with you today. Brian, he's not going to like me for this, but I think the Giants are going to get it. I think the Nationals were the best team going into the playoffs, and they took it from them. They went into Nationals Park for the first 2 games, went to D.C., and absolutely took 2 fantastic games from Bryce Harper and his Washington Nationals, and I just was absolutely flawed by it. If you haven't seen Hunter Pence and his antics, his on-deck swing, his beard, his everything, and Kung Fu Panda, the Panda fans are out. You see it all the time. And it's gonna be interesting to see how they come out and how they're playing as a whole going forward. But we have to look at it this way and say that San Francisco obviously an experienced team. They've been here before. Cardinals have been here before too.
Yeah.
Cardinals have been here before. But I just have this feeling about San Francisco. If you get San Francisco and Baltimore, that's going to be a good series. That's going to be a good series. And I just think it's San Francisco's year. I think they shine more in the playoffs. I know. I mean, the Cardinals have been there. Don't get me wrong. I think the Cardinals are going to do fantastic. I think it's going to go to the absolute last game. I don't think the Cardinals have those superstars that they used to have. They don't have that Pujols. They have the average St. Louis Cardinal, and I'm shocked as not at how far they've gone. I think they deserve to be here. They still have Matt Holliday and people like that, but and Molina, obviously, huge spark plug for them. But I just think that Giants rotation, Madison Bumgarner is my favorite pitcher of the year. Mark that. Madison Bumgarner, unbelievable. I saw him pitch against the Mets at Citi Field, 2-hitter, shutout. I think he threw like 90 pitches. It's the Mets, but still. I think the San Francisco Giants are going to show up, and I think the Cardinals are going to show up too. It's going to be a fantastic series. Yep. Sorry, Brian, I didn't mean to say it, but we're in for a fantastic series going forward. So there's your postseason baseball. We'll be here next Thursday. We'll see where we stand.
Yep.
We could have World Series teams by then. It'll be close. It'll be right on the cusp. Yeah. We could have some World Series teams by there. We'll be talking about World Series baseball. We'll be giving your predictions. I say Giants. You say Cardinals. We both said Orioles. Mark it.
See how it goes.
Watch it on the YouTube page. We're going to move straight into football.
Yep.
Back to football, but it's NFL this time.
Absolutely. Big game tonight. Indianapolis Colts squaring off Houston Texans. Both teams sit at 3-2. Both of them, they're both looking pretty good. The Colts, second in the league in offense, 12th in defense. That's a great set of numbers, but for whatever reason, have 2 losses on their schedule. But, the first in passing, Andrew Luck is really coming into his own. That's why he went number 1 overall. Yeah. You knew he was going to be a superstar.
Well deserved, by the way.
Absolutely,
He absolutely tore it up at Stanford.
He did.
He's been growing into that position fantastic. But he's your vet now. He's getting into your vet, and he's filling in. There's not that many big name wide receivers on that team. He came in with Reggie Wayne and Pierre Garçon. They're both gone. Yeah. What do you have now? Or is Reggie Wayne?
No, Reggie Wayne's still there.
He's still there, but
he's played by injury. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
ACL tear last year.
I think T.Y. Hilton's probably your number one.
He's the biggest name there.
So
obviously,
he's turning these, like T.Y. Hilton wasn't a big name. He turned him into a huge name, huge fantasy guy last year. But there's been a trend with Thursday night games that they have not been close.
No, it's true.
We're facing a Texans team tonight. They're both 3-2, surprisingly. Right. Texans, they played in Dallas last week. Interesting showing by them. They actually filled. I saw this. They filled Cowboys Stadium, which was shocking because America's team. What happened? What happened to America's team? But Texans showed up. Didn't get the win.
No,
did not get the win. And tonight, it's going to be interesting to see if J.J. Watt and that Texans defense shows up, or if Andrew Luck's going to go off. What are your thoughts on that?
I gotta say, the Colts have come in the last 3 meetings between the two teams and taken it from the Texans. Hasn't really been too close. They had one close game last year, and they won 27-24. But the second game last year, they had a 22-point margin of victory. Only gave up 3 points. Obviously, when you look at it, same rankings, but statistically, Colts a much better team. The second-rated offense to Texans' 22nd rated offense. For whatever reason, Texans have come out with 3 wins, but the Colts just look like the all-around better team, and I think I got to give it to them tonight.
Okay. I'm also going to go with the Colts. I think Andrew Luck is going to be dominant tonight. Game starts in about a little over half an hour. Tune into that. Thursday Night Football. We're always going to be on before Thursday Night Football, so We'll always have your Thursday Night Football preview right here on Two Dudes Sports Show, WZBC, coming at you 90.3 Newton, AM station, by the way. So don't click that red button. Do not click that red button. Click the AM station button. There we go. You will get weird music if you click that. Not weird music, fantastic music. They play great music here. I'm just saying, don't click that red button.
No, you know where the
when we're broadcasting, the hockey games, the basketball games, the baseball games, the football games, obviously soon coming up. Those big name games, you can click that red button. But for now,
Leave it here.
Don't click that red button. All right, so I'm also going to go with the Colts. I think Andrew Luck's going to come out tonight. I already said that. J.J. Watt, I hope he has a career game and sacks him like 4 times, but still,
It'd be nice to see.
But I think Andrew Luck is just going to be too much. I think he's going to throw all over the Texans, and I think they're going to get that win. I think they're going to get that huge win.
I think so too. All you got to hope for is a big game. Obviously, CBS got the Thursday night games this week, and as I heard earlier today, the radio talking about how poor the ratings have been. People just turning away at halftime. I mean, Green Bay was up by 50 at the half last week. Just absolutely, they haven't had a really good game.
There hasn't been a good Thursday night game.
Right.
I think the other one was there one. What was the one with the Falcons? Was that 2 weeks ago? Was there a Thursday night game with the Falcons? That was just. I think it was. Was it Tampa? No. Maybe Minnesota and Atlanta. I don't know what it was, but whatever it was not close, and it was not perfect.
And the average scores so far this year of the Thursday night games have been a 41-12 margin by the victorious team. Okay. It just really hasn't shown up.
Yeah. So hopefully we're praying for a good Thursday night game tonight, and we'll see what happens. I don't really care who wins. I'm a Giants fan. You can say what you are.
I'm a Pats fan. The only fan there is to be. I mean.
Yeah.
We know who the most hated team in football is.
Well, we remember the 2 rings that we got over the past 5 years.
That's the one thing. It breaks my heart as a Pats fan. The only person that we can't say something to, you just can't find a way to beat the Giants.
Eli Manning, David Tyree, Mario Manningham.
David Tyree, that's
Brandon
like
Jacobs, Ahmad Bradshaw. I'll go on for hours.
Poison coming off. It's okay, though,
Kevin
because,
Boss, why not?
Kevin Boss.
Boston College, #. Giants have the most Boston College players on their roster.
Matthias Kiwanuka.
Makes me proud.
Mark
Andre
Herzlich.
Williams.
Andre Williams.
Yep. Herzlich.
First
Kiwanuka.
touchdown last week, correct?
Yep. Andre Williams. They had Snee. And then our Falcons have Matt Ryan. Luke Kuechly's on the Panthers. Pierre Lewis. Seattle, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Seattle or Jacksonville. I'm going to go with Seattle. They're all around. Costanza actually playing tonight. Anthony Costanza, unless he's injured, I hope not. He'll play. He's on the Colts. So a lot of good BC alum in the area playing this weekend. Very excited about it. And you're listening to Two Dudes Sports Show. We're going to talk about some NFL games and the weekend ahead. Coming up right after our intro that you love so much.
Ryan, 21-24, 286 yards, 3 touchdowns. Still a
It's
dude.
better than this. Guys being dudes.
Matt Ryan, that's a dude.
Heisman Trophy. Bronco Nagurski Award.
Ultimate dude.
Raji on my left.
Herzlich on my right.
2 dudes.
O-line you, bunch of dudes. Dudes to the right, dudes to the left, stuck in the middle with you.
WZBC, the Boston College Radio Network, the voice of the Eagles.
And we're back. Two Dudes Sports Show coming at you live from McElroy Commons here at Boston College. I was going to say Boston College University, but that doesn't work.
That does not.
So Boston College here. We're going to talk about the rundown from the games going on. We'll just talk. Brief description. We got about 15 minutes left here till the top of the hour at 8. It's 7:43 for you East Coast people. For all you West Coast listeners, thank you for tuning in. I don't think there's one.
I don't think there's one, unless you got the California kids picking leaves off the ground, taking a
that's all we
busy
need.
break from buying new winter
exactly
clothes.
What I need. Let's talk about the games this week. We got a rivalry game. Steelers, Browns, nitty gritty. Brian Hoyer. Let's talk about Brian Hoyer.
Brian Hoyer.
Yeah.
You know where he came from? He's a Brady Belichick era product. You gotta love watching the QBs who just were Brady's understudy for years, coming out performing. There's nothing like seeing Matt Castles. You see it obviously. He's hurt right now, and the ego's a little bit hurt after Tom Brady reminded him why he was the understudy.
Sure.
But Brian Hoyer, good to see him. You want to just go through and get picks of these games?
Yeah, I guess we'll go back and forth. All right, Browns, Steelers. What are you feeling? We'll just go back and forth.
I got the Browns. Browns, obviously, the new sports city, supposedly. You got LeBron over there, Kevin Love over there, Johnny Manziel coming there to bring up the party scene.
Going there. That happened? Did
that
go
I guess
down?
so.
Ray Allen.
Yeah, showing where his loyalties lay.
He's going, yeah. He just bounces where they're going to get rings, obviously.
That's true.
He's Ray Allen, so he
gotta
can.
be respect with that.
As long as he gets the 3, why does anybody care? Does he have 3 rings?
I believe he does, yeah.
Yeah, he started with the Supersonics, and then he went to Boston.
Yeah, he got
part of the
one
Big
with
Three.
Boston, and
Then he went
2 with
down,
Miami.
and 2 with Miami, or 2 or 1 with Miami. He's got 2. He's looking for a 3, or if he's got 3,
he's
he's
got
looking
2.
for a 4. So excited. If he did go to Cleveland, congratulations to Cleveland. They're stacked.
Absolutely.
Surprisingly, Cleveland coming in hot. I'm going to go with the Steelers with this one.
Okay.
I love their running game. Le'Veon Bell, LeGarrette Blount. It's that 1-2 punch that they got down there. That game go either way. Brian Hoyer's been heating up, but they really don't. The Browns really don't have anybody. I want to see Johnny Manziel play. I don't really want to see Brian Hoyer. Shout out to Brian Hoyer. I want to see Manziel. I want to see Johnny football. But
I just want to see Josh Gordon back in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're a different team with him in
That's
there.
a whole other topic. But
I've had him sitting on the
it's a shame.
fantasy
It's a
bench
shame
just
to
waiting
see
for him to
yeah.
come back.
But we'll move in right into the second game. We got your New England Patriots taking on the Buffalo Bills. What are you feeling?
No question there. Patriots. I mean, not much needs to be said.
No,
Yeah.
just nothing. Okay.
No, you got the Kansas City game.
Hey, let me tell you something. There's a man, there's a man out there, and his name's Kyle Orton.
Kyle Orton.
Now,
That's an interesting name to hear.
Kyle Orton is leading the Bills. He went into, it was Detroit last week, and absolutely stole a game. Well, Calvin Johnson's injured, doesn't count.
Yeah,
Kyle
true.
Orton, secretive, always comes off the bench and always gets you. But after the Patriots commanding win over Cincinnati last week, I don't think there's any way that they slow down.
No. I mean, see, the thing is,
it's in Buffalo, but I mean, does that really matter?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All right, here's the thing. I sat in my dorm room watching the Kansas City Monday night game, watching the Patriots get destroyed. Everybody's talking about end of the era. Well, I was just sitting back telling them it's a wake-up week. We're in the same position we were last season, starting off 3-3 in the first 6 and then finishing 12-4. We came out on Sunday night and showed them why we're still the Patriots.
Yeah,
I think
Patriots are Patriots. I don't think they're going to slow down. I think they're going
carries
to take
right
the
over.
Bills. I think we agree with that.
Yeah.
Moving right in, we got Luke Kuechly and the Panthers taking on Andy Dalton, and they're looking fantastic. Cincinnati Bengals actually absolutely crumbled in New England last week. So what are you feeling about Carolina and Cincinnati?
Well, I will say, I mean, obviously no team in the NFL can bounce back like the Patriots can. But I'll give it to the Bengals. I think that they're gonna come back after a rough performance against the Pats last week. I think that AJ Green's been, breeded to know that he is the superstar. I think that last week was just a hiccup for them. They've been a dominant team during the regular season. They struggle in the postseason.
Sure.
Obviously, don't have as much experience there.
Yeah.
But I think for the time being, I think Cam isn't going to have a great week. I think Kuechly and his defensive staff's going to have a tough time dealing with
that it was
Bengals.
surprising because the Panthers last year in the defense, we're going to talk about the Panthers were dominant defensively.
True.
And this year they haven't shown up. And it's surprising. Cam Newton's having a down year. He was my fantasy quarterback last year, and he thrived. This year is just not getting it done. But if we're looking at, Cam Newton and those Panthers, they could always sneak a game from you. They always. NFL is so crazy. 1 week you can get demolished and then come back and absolutely demolish the next team. So it's unpredictable, but I'm also going to go with the Bengals. I think they bounce right back. I don't think Carolina's going to go into Cincinnati and take one. So Bengals on both of us. All right.
Yep.
Jags, Titans, the game that no one will watch.
That's absolutely accurate. Titans.
Should we just go right past it?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, I'm going to say Titans.
There you go.
All right, Packers and Dolphins.
All right, so Ryan Tannehill has been looking good this season. He's progressing. He's progressing.
It's true.
Obviously, an A&M product.
This is supposed to be his breakout year, by the way. Everybody's been saying that.
That's what the word is. Obviously, he was there before Manziel at A&M. He kind of started getting the program back on track before Manziel took it and ran with it. But it's Aaron Rodgers, and you just gotta stay calm.
It's true.
And
Aaron Rodgers can. You cannot, as a fan, bet against Aaron Rodgers. Any game, he can destroy you. If you're a betting person, I don't promote it. I don't promote gambling, but I'm saying if you're a betting person, you have to be a gutsy man to go against Aaron Rodgers.
True.
Maybe the only game that I've said that I knew Aaron Rodgers and I didn't feel he was going to win was that first game against Seattle. And Seattle is an unreal team, by the way.
Seattle is an unreal team. There's nothing they can't do.
That 12th man, people hate him for it. They think they overhype the entire fan thing. But Russell Wilson, out of this world. He's so young. He's not even in his prime yet.
No,
he's just
true.
Watching that team. I think Richard Sherman's a little overhyped.
I'm a huge Richard.
I think he spits the bet. Oh, here's a matchup that I'd want to see: Steve Smith and Richard Sherman.
That'd be interesting. That would be tempers flaring all game.
Unbelievable. It probably wouldn't happen, but that would be the
something.
Best. I mean, they'd probably take their helmets off and just like fist fight in the middle of the field. I think they were actually both. No, Steve Smith would definitely throw down. I don't think Sherman would ever throw down. I think he's the one that would shove and then go right to the ref and be like, "You see what he's doing? What's he doing?" Yeah.
Sherman's a Compton kid, but he's had that Stanford refining process.
I mean, come on, yeah. Steve Smith, just absolute smash mouth football. So that'd be a good one. But going back, Packers and Dolphins. What are you feeling? You think Packers?
I'm gonna have to go with the Packers. Yeah. It's just two. I mean, Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, that triple-headed monster with Aaron Rodgers there. I just don't. I don't think that
it's hard to pick against. But you know what? I'm gonna do it.
Really?
I'm gonna pick the Dolphins. I think they're at home. I think they show up. I mean, does it really matter if they're
doesn't
home?
matter if they're home? They're every away team's home game.
Yeah,
for them.
It's a shame for the Dolphins, but I think Tannehill's going to show up. I think Mike Wallace is one of. I mean, I'm not going to say underrated. Everybody knows who Mike Wallace is, but him going down to Miami, I think they can make something happen.
Definitely.
Noshan's down there, I believe, is their running back.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. No. I mean,
let me tell you. I mean. I would not be surprised if the Packers won, but I think this is going to be one of my. I think the Dolphins are going to take it. I think they're going to stay in that AFC East hunt. From one NFC North team to the next, we have the Lions and the Vikings. Quinn, hit me.
Like you said, Lions went down against the Bills last week. Bills, tough game for them.
Yep.
But they're
Vikings possibly I'm going to put this in your head. Right now, he's on my fantasy team. Calvin Johnson is questionable. They're thinking that maybe they sit out because
obviously you put him back in and got him hurt again.
It's also the Vikings.
Right.
So think about that. You take away Calvin, you still feeling Lions over Vikings? You tell me.
I mean, I think that obviously you want Calvin Johnson to get rested up because you gotta be looking forward in the season, but you can't take the mentality that you're gonna sit him out because it's the Vikings.
And you can't lose an NFC North game.
No, you can't.
You have to,
really
especially
can't.
losing to the Bills.
Right.
And seeing your former head coach get carried off like he's Rudy.
Yeah.
That was pretty interesting.
But I'll say this, the Vikings have had an up and down season for sure.
Yep. Since the whole Peterson thing, it's been tough for them. And Teddy and Ponder, they're going back and forth and back and forth.
Right. I mean, and Teddy was down last week, but that's the news. If they hadn't had a Thursday night game last week, Teddy would have been ready to go for the weekend. Teddy's back this weekend.
Yep.
He had a really good week 3. I think that
Cordell Patterson is good.
He is very good. He
wide
is
receiver.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go with the Vikings. I think that Teddy comes back in and takes it from the Lions.
I like that, and especially their home.
Yep.
It's a new.
True.
It's they play at the Universe. They play at Minnesota, University of Minnesota.
Yeah. For the season. Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting. I guess that's like home field advantage. I don't really know how big that stadium is. It's a state school, so I would presume it's pretty big. So I don't know how much of a effect that actually has. It could be weather-wise. Lions playing a dome. Maybe you take that into effect. It's still October, so maybe. But I mean, Minnesota, I just think of snow all year. I don't think they have a summer. But it's going to be interesting to see Lions, Vikings. This one, I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with the Lions. I don't think Teddy. He's not ready. He's not ready. And
not ready, Teddy. All right.
Good. I think Matt Stafford's going to go in there, and I don't know if Reggie Bush is back, but if he is, hopefully he is. Not sure. I just think I have a feeling about the Lions. Broncos Jets. Do we really need to talk that much about this one?
No. I mean, you know what? I hate Peyton Manning more than.
Oh, that's interesting. This is a duo right here. The only thing could be worse is if. No, I don't know if it would. Would it be worse if? Here's a real question for a Pats fan. Would it be worse to see Broncos, so Peyton Manning versus the Jets, or the Manning brothers matchup? Well, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that is a tough one. All right, so I'd have to say Manning on Manning.
Okay.
You do
Eli
get
never wins it, by the way.
Right? No, never ever. You get the upside of one Manning losing.
Yeah.
But it's a guarantee that one Manning's winning.
It's the worst.
So you can't be having that. I will say this. Obviously, a Pats fan, you're breeded to hate Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
I hate him as much as the next guy, but I can't tell you how rough a season it was not having him there when he got injured with a neck injury.
Oh, sure.
It's a different NFL. As much as people like to hate on him, he brings
one of a
something to
kind,
the NFL.
One of a kind. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt. I think we're both going to pick the Broncos.
Definitely.
Jets, just too many problems, man.
Yeah.
Rex, figure it out, man. Rex.
He's got to do something.
If you're watching this, I know you are. I know you're watching this, Rex. Figure it out. Gino, stop yelling at the fans.
Gino.
Sheldon Richardson, stop. My
We're in the
friend
Big 12.
Tim back home, huge Jets fan, but man, figure it out, Tim. Figure it out. Ravens, Buccaneers. What are we feeling?
All right, Buccaneers are a big story. They've had a great wide receiving crew so far this season, and Thomas Glennon coming into his own. Obviously, when Greg Schiano was there, he was a huge supporter of Mike Glennon. Thought he was going to be a really big deal someday. He comes up, he's ready, he's got his opportunity, and he's ran with it so far.
Sure.
Obviously, in the Patriots pecking order, it's probably whatever team Peyton's on.
Yep.
Then the Jets, who are hard to hate because there's just no reason.
Obviously.
They don't do anything. Shannon, I hope you're watching. They just the Jets, come on, why? But in any case, the Ravens are always number 3 there.
Yeah.
Ravens is a tough program.
Yeah.
You got the Ray Lewis cover up to now the Ray Rice issues.
Yeah.
I think that the Buccaneers are gonna take it. They're at home.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the Ravens.
I'm going to say Ravens. I think they are a sneaky good team, but I also think they, like Steve Smith last week, that just demolished Carolina. If that was last week, I think it was. It's just they're sneaky good in that respect, but they could also let you down so tremendously. As my friend Alex Boros knows, who goes here. You can have up and down with the Ravens. Tough being a Baltimore sports fan, but you're probably living the high life right now. But I'm going to go with the Ravens. I have Doug Martin as my running back, and he is the most... I don't even know how to put it. He's the saddest thing that has ever graced
I got him on the fantasy team this year, too.
He just let me down so much. So I'm going to say Ravens. Doug Martin, don't do it. You don't surprise me and do something this week, Doug Martin. Thank you.
Between him and Zach Stacy, I've had a rough year in fantasy.
That's a one-of-a-kind lineup.
Yeah.
All right. We got about 5 minutes left. We got about 5 games left. Let's cover it. Chargers, Raiders. What are you thinking?
Chargers. Gonna fire them off here. Chargers.
I'm also gonna go with Chargers, Raiders. Just Tony Sperano. If you saw, he buried the ball.
I did.
That's
see
hilarious.
That.
That's fantastic. So if I was on the Raiders, I'd be pounding my chest like, yeah, he's dead. That ball is dead.
Yep.
Let's get it. And then Philip Rivers gonna run all over you. So good luck with that, Raiders. All right, Bears, Falcons.
I'm gonna go with Falcons. BC alum Matt Ryan.
Matty Ice.
I mean, he's a god around here.
Yeah.
And the Bears have looked all right this season. But
tough game last week.
That's true.
Carolina, yeah.
Just the worst implosion I've seen in some time.
Mm-hmm.
3 turnovers in the last
Cutler,
8 minutes
Jay
of the game.
Cutler can let you down so much.
Can.
He's never my fantasy quarterback. He'll never be my fantasy quarterback. Never Jay Cutler.
Mark it down.
I'm going to go with the Falcons also.
Falcons.
I think they lost a heartbreaker to the Giants last week. I couldn't be more happy, but still, Matty Ice is going to come out. Hard Knocks team right there. The Falcons. And Atlanta, let's do it. Cowboys, Seahawks. Now, here's an interesting... This is actually this could be the game of the week.
It could. Obviously, the Cowboys playing really well, but I'm sorry. You know what? You got to go with the Seahawks. What doesn't that team have?
Mm-hmm.
I mean... Russell Wilson, just a fabulous quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, not a lot of people expected that. He fell pretty low in the draft. I'm a huge proponent for Richard Sherman. I don't think he's overrated. I think he's a really impressive specimen. I like all the jawing. I think that gets fans really interested. And you know what? There's nothing I like more than somebody who would do a lot of talking and back it up. And yeah, I don't see the Seahawks losing.
I'm gonna go with the Seahawks too. I think Cowboys have been fantastic recently. As a Giants fan, that kills me to say. Oh, it kills me. But the Seahawks, man, you can't stop them.
No.
Russell Wilson, unbelievable. Redskins gave the game on Monday Night Football, but I just don't think I can't see them stopping. I really can't. They're the team this year. Redskins, Cardinals.
This is an
Sneaky
interesting
game,
one.
yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. Don't know too much about the Cardinals. I know Carson Palmer's coming back this week. He's always a quietly good guy.
Yeah.
He does well, but
quietly gets the job done. Yeah.
Yeah, but Redskins had a good week, I guess, by Redskins standards.
Yeah.
Against Seattle. Kirk Cousins, obviously, dude, you got to figure it out with the passing. I'm not a huge RG3 fan.
Neither am I.
I think that you can't be this injury prone this early in your career and still have a career. And I liked Kirk Cousins a lot going in. The last year, he got the job done when RG3 wasn't there. but so many picks, like 12 picks in the last 3 weeks.
It's unbelievable.
Just absolutely nuts.
Sure.
I think he turns it around, though.
Good.
I think that Redskins good.
I'm going to say Cardinals on this one. We got about 30 seconds left. We got 2 more games. Giants, Eagles. You know who I'm saying. Giants been talking a lot of smack this week. We are going to just smash mouth the Eagles, and I can't wait. I want to get that done. Giants, I take them in the Sunday night game.
I disagree. Eagles fan. I'm a huge Oregon fan. You'll hear me a little more about that. They only come second to BC.
Yep.
But Chip, incredible coach. I think they get it done.
All right, and the last one, Monday night game, 49ers, Rams. What are you feeling?
49ers. Caps having a interesting season by Cap standards, but
no chance. 49ers. 49ers.
Awesome.
So that's what we got. Thank you for tuning in. This has been Two Dudes Sports Show here on WZBC AM 90.3 Newton. Check out our Facebook page, Two Dudes Sports Show. It's up. Like it. Really appreciate it. We have this YouTube video that's going to be posted soon. It's on YouTube. Just type in Two Dudes Sports Show. It'll come right up. Fantastic promo. This video should be up tonight if I can get it done. Thank you for tuning in.
Absolutely.
This
Thank
was
you,
Two
everybody.
Dudes.
It's been a great time.
Have a fantastic Thursday evening, everybody. Watch that Thursday night game. We'll see you in a week.
Ryan, 21 of 24, 286 yards, 3 touchdowns. Still a
It's
dude.
better than this. Guys being dudes.
Matt Ryan, that's a dude.
Heisman Trophy. Bronco Nagurski Award.
Ultimate dudes.
Raji on my left.
Herzlich on my right.
2 dudes.
O-line you, bunch of dudes. Dudes to the right, dudes to the left, stuck in the middle with you.
WZBC, the Boston College Radio Network, the voice of the Eagles.